Welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you joining us today because we are tackling an appliance that sits right at the very heart of your home, but man, it can feel like a complete mystery when things go wrong. Today, we're demystifying modern cooktops, going all the way from basic electric models to those super high-tech induction surfaces. We're going to transform you from just an everyday user into a confident, knowledgeable owner who knows exactly what to do when your appliance starts acting up. Okay, picture this. You've got all your ingredients prepped, your guests are arriving in exactly 20 minutes, you turn on your sleek new induction cooktop, and instead of heat, you get a flashing, cryptic E3 on the display. It's a completely universal frustration. Getting a sudden error code right when you're ready to cook can seriously induce panic. But what if I told you that most of the time, this isn't an emergency at all? So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Safety first, fire and heat. 2. Mastering your cooktop controls. 3. Understanding induction error codes. 4. Decoding major brand faults. And finally, 5. DIY troubleshooting and maintenance to save you a costly repair bill. Section 1. Safety first, fire and heat. Okay, let's dive into this. Before we can even start talking about error codes and sensors, we really have to respect the incredible power these appliances output. The manufacturer's warning is extremely blunt for a reason. Fire hazard. Turning off all controls when you're done cooking sounds like basic common sense, right? But modern ceramic glass surfaces can remain incredibly hot even long after the power is actually cut. The manual explicitly states that failure to follow this basic step can result in serious consequences. We're talking death or fire. It just really shows the absolute gravity of operating a high-heat appliance. Which leads us to our next absolutely crucial point. Never leave surface units unattended at high heat settings. You know, it's so incredibly easy to step away for just a second while boiling water. But boil-overs cause smoking, and more importantly, they create greasy spillovers that can rapidly ignite. Constant supervision during short, high-heat cooking periods is just essential. Let's quickly break down a few more vital, non-negotiable safety rules drawn straight from the user instructions. If a grease fire does happen, absolutely never use water. You need to smother the flame or use a dry chemical or foam-type extinguisher. Second, keep flammable or plastic items completely off the cooking surface. They will literally melt or ignite. Third, avoid storing items of interest to children in the cabinets directly above the cooktop. A child climbing up to reach something could be seriously injured. And finally, always use flat-bottomed pans that are large enough to cover the surface unit heating element. This prevents accidental clothing ignition and it actually improves your efficiency. Section 2. Mastering your cooktop controls. All right, now that we've laid down a solid safety foundation, it's time to master the everyday operation of your cooktop's interface. Whether you have a sleek, modern touch-activated electronic control panel or traditional knob controls, the underlying operational logic applies directly to you. Both of these systems are designed to deliver precise heat. You just interact with them a little differently. Often, we just see arbitrary numbers from 1 to 20 or low to high on our controls, but this brilliantly illustrates how those abstract numbers translate directly into practical cooking functions. Setting 20 is strictly for starting food or bringing liquids to a rapid boil. Then you step it down to 17 through 19 to hold that boil or to sear. And notice how specific it gets at the bottom. Level 1 is specifically calibrated just to melt chocolate and butter without scorching it. Understanding this mapping completely changes how you cook. You might also have versatile elements on your cooktop like a triple element. It's basically a giant puzzle that brilliantly combines single, dual, and outer heating zones into one spot. This is incredibly useful because it allows the cooktop to accommodate standard pans, but it also scales way up for massive cookware or large quantities of food, like when you're doing home canning. You literally just select the zone size to match your pot perfectly. Section 3. Understanding induction error codes. Now, let's transition into the hidden digital world of the cooktop. When you step up to an induction unit, you aren't just dealing with a heating element anymore. You are dealing with a computer that constantly monitors itself. So what does this all mean? The crucial point is understanding what an error code actually is. It's really simply an alert. The cooktop's internal control board is constantly checking the thermistor, the power inverter, the coil, the fan, and the pan sensor. When even one of these reads outside of its normal expected range, the board flashes a code and usually disables the heating zone to protect itself and to protect you. But here is where we can relieve some of that anxiety. Not every flashing light means your appliance is broken. There is a sharp contrast between an actual hardware error, like an E1 or F1, which means a failed thermistor or inverter, and a completely normal operating state. Displays that say hot or LOC are just the cooktop doing its job. Hot just means the glass is still over 150 degrees Fahrenheit. LOC means the child lock is engaged. These are intended features. They are completely normal, and they require 0 repairs. Section 4. Decoding major brand faults. Now, what's really interesting here is how we can take seemingly random codes from totally different manufacturers and group them into understandable categories. See, there is a fascinating unifying thread across all the major brands. Bosch uses E3, GE Profile and Samsung use CD, Miele uses U2, and LG literally just spells out NO. While the letters and numbers change, they all mean the exact same thing: pan detection error. This means there's no ferromagnetic pan on the zone, the pan is too small, usually under 4.5 inches, the base is warped, or maybe it's just off-center. This proves that the most common scary-looking error code is almost always a simple, user-fixable cookware issue. However, we do have to be objective. There are definitely times when the computer is telling you about a real internal failure. If you see Bosch throwing an F20 series code, or GE showing F7, or Samsung displaying E2, you are looking at inverter or memory failures. These specific hardware faults deal with high-voltage electronics. This is the moment where you absolutely do not open the glass yourself. These codes typically require a certified technician. Section 5. DIY troubleshooting and maintenance. All right, before you dial that expensive repair service for any code, I want to empower you with an actionable, step-by-step diagnostic phase. Let's walk through this structured 6-step protocol together. First, always record the exact code and what you were doing when it happened. Second, and this is a big one, power cycle the unit by flipping the circuit breaker off for 10 full minutes. You would be amazed how a simple 10-minute reset resolves transient voltage spikes or temporary communication glitches. Third, check your pan. Fourth, check underneath the cooktop in the cabinet to ensure you haven't blocked the cooling vents. Fifth, verify your electrical supply. Shared circuits cause voltage drops that easily trigger false errors. If you do all of this and the code returns, well then, and only then, do you proceed to step 6 and call for service.
I really want to highlight step 3 from that list, because it is the most practical, foolproof tip you can take away today for induction users: the magnet test. If a standard kitchen magnet sticks firmly to the bottom of your pan, it is induction compatible. If it doesn't hold, the pan is the problem, not your cooktop. This trick instantly solves the vast majority of those pan-related error codes we talked about earlier. And you know, to keep those error codes away entirely, it really all comes down to everyday habits. Keep the vents clear underneath. You want to maintain that 1.5 to 2 inches of cabinet clearance so the electronics don't overheat. Use compatible, flat-bottomed cookware to avoid straining the induction coil. Never leave empty pans on power boost because dry pans get so hot they trigger thermal protection sensors. Keep liquids away from the frame seals to protect the internal boards, and always ensure a dedicated 240-volt circuit. These simple, everyday steps ensure your appliance will perform flawlessly for years to come.
We have definitely covered a lot of ground today, from the absolute essentials of fire safety and control mastery, all the way to diagnosing the internal computer codes of modern induction units. You are no longer just a cook, you are an informed owner. So I'll leave you with this. The next time your cooktop flashes a warning right in the middle of preparing dinner, will you reach for the phone to call for an expensive service visit? Or will you grab a magnet, flip a breaker, and fix it yourself? Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll see you on the next explainer.